Okay. Why do you start?
Good afternoon to everyone present here. I welcome you all to this guest lecture on the My Entrepreneurial Journey series. Anything is possible when you have the right people to support you. On this note, I'd like to invite one of our pillars of success, our HOD, Dr. R. Arumuri, to deliver the wisdom.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Vice Engineering and Campus, gives me immense pleasure in welcoming the chief guest of the day, Mr. Sheshai Sai, social entrepreneur and Honorable Consul General, Republic of Seychelles, India. I also take privilege in welcoming our motivator and pillar of our strength, Dr. C. Sundar, Dean Management Studies, for the program. I also take pleasure in welcoming our well-wisher as well as media partner, Mr. Jairam, Deputy General Manager, Asset Director. I welcome our faculty colleagues and our beloved today's students and future entrepreneurs and managers of the event today. Coming to today's program, my entrepreneurial journey is a series where we are conducting for the development of skills during the course of study, wherein successful entrepreneurs as well as industrial people are being called and their experience are being shared during the program. So this happens 2 years of program wherein all the entrepreneurs who are successful as well as who are doing the startup programs are being called up for the entrepreneurial journey and they will be delivering the lectures during this period. So today's guest also is a social entrepreneur and he has a rich and vast experience and an interesting journey where he will be sharing this experience for you people. I'm sure today you will have a wonderful time over here. Once again, I welcome you all for the gathering today and happy learning.
Thank you for the cordial welcome, sir. A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. One such leader is our lead, Dr. C. Sundar. I would now like to invite him to facilitate the gathering.
Distinguished chief guest of the day, Mr. Sesha Sai, social entrepreneur and Honorable Consul General, Republic of Seychelles, India, our well-wishers and the DGM of Business Standard, Mr. Jayaraman sir, Mr. Moses from Business Standard, HOD MBA, faculty members, and most dear students. Very good afternoon to one and all present. It's a very difficult for the resource person as well as the organizer to organize the session on the post lunch. It's a challenge before us, and anyway, today it will not be a challenge. It's a fruitful task because today resource person, it's not normal ordinary speaker, he is an extraordinary speaker and well experienced in the multifaceted business. Sir
has an experience in the field of retailing, in the field of manufacturing, in the field of entrepreneurship, or present in the field of social entrepreneurship. And very fortunate enough, Sir is also holding the position of Honorable General of Republic of Seychelles. It's one of the foremost important position acquired by any other person. So by giving the round of applause, we welcome today's guest, Mr. Keshav, with us today. And it's a pretty close to the business standard, and that too, Mr. Jayaraman sir. So for the past 10 years, the journey between the business standard and the College of Management, Ramapuram, in a very friendly and fruitful way. So a lot of innovative programs we have organized for the benefit of the students, and we invited eminent personalities from the industry to come and share their experience to the student community. So as you all know that today the program title is called My Entrepreneurial Journey Series. So in this series, we invited the entrepreneur. So whether it's a successful entrepreneur or the entrepreneur who not able to meet out, it's a failure. We invite them to come and share their experience among the student community. The basic objective is to inculcate entrepreneurial mindset among the student, especially for the management student. So you know that management student one step ahead of other discipline student. We are going to manage the entire resource. We are going to manage the entire team in the organization. So you know how to make the strategic planning and decision in your future career. So by listening the valuable insights from this eminent personality, so definitely it will add value to your career. Even though you are studying the theory subject, what we are stipulated to teaching theory, but this kind of session, listening with actual entrepreneur, so it will give more insights. Even as a faculty, as a team, so we could learn a lot of things from the real entrepreneur. So if you invite a marketing person or if you invite the HR person, they are very specific about their respective specialization or respective field. If you invite one entrepreneur, say it is equivalent to one MBA. So they are well versed in HR, well versed in production, well versed in the marketing, well versed in the logistics, well versed in all discipline of management. So we can learn multiple things from the resource person. So now today we are in the 22-23. So 23. So what is the most important thing happening in India? So India is leading one group. So what India is leading? So I'm asking you. Each and every day the paper carries one news. So now India is a leading group of G20. Good. So G20 presidency. So now for another up to September 2023, so India is going to be lead, and we are going to have a lot of fruitful business leading will happen, and we are moving to the next level. So I humbly request all our student friends. So we have to update and upgrade ourselves. So usually all the faculty members are taking utmost effort to provide all kinds of information to the student community, so that either you have to start up your own enterprises, or you can take up your family enterprises, or you have to work in a reputed organization and you have to achieve in a very good position. So these are the basic objective where College of Management is operating. So all the faculty members, right from dean, they are working around the clock to uplift and empower all the student community. And today we are very much eager to know and to listen about the valuable insights from our guest, and is going to be talk about the entrepreneurship, that too of Indian entrepreneur. And during the welcome address, HOD says that the social entrepreneur or guest has initiated form group and is designed and is open to the student, especially for the younger. So like a school student is open his form and is having the real-time experience. So what form actually? So because this is the one objective, so we can create awareness among the young student. So what is the farming? The another thing is we also inculcate the agricultural invite among the younger. So by this way, so we will give a round of applause to our guest of taking this kind of initiative. So because India, once upon a time, India is 80% of our business activity related to the agriculture and farming. But anyway, according to the changes happening in the country, so now it moves to the IT boom or IT industry, manufacturing and service, and the farming and agriculture is coming down. But anyway, that is one of the most important industry. So now SAR has taken the initiative, again is inculcating among the agricultural uh, thing among the young student community. So in that way, we are very much happy, sir. And here, our students also eager waiting the valuable input and insights we are going to give today. And for one kind of information, our student, a few students during our study, they are doing business, and that's way we are very happy. And a few they are also taking care of the family business. Few they are doing their own business, and they will come and they will get the counseling session from us. So in that way, we are proud. Our student even. So we are going to have one program called the Startup Entrepreneur Award, probably in the in the month of March, we are planning to have. So we are going to invite our alumni entrepreneurs. So whoever completed in College of Management in Ramapuram campus, so now they are doing business. We are going to invite all of them, and we are going to honor, and we are going to motivate them. So in that way, the things we are moving towards this. And I extend my sincere thanks and gratitude to our guest and Mr. Jayaraman sir and Mr. Moses. We are spending their valuable time with us today, and also we are doing a lot of good things to the department. We also expect the same thing will move forward. So thank you, and thank you very much.
Thank you for your kind words, sir. It is not what he has or even what he does which expresses the worth of a man, but what he is. We have one such person who lives by the book. It's none other than our chief guest of the week, Mr. Sesha Sai. It is my great privilege to introduce our chief guest of the week, Mr. Sesha Sai, founder of Farm Guru Agritech Center and Honorary Consul General, Republic of Seychelles, India. Mr. Sesha Sai was one of the first bubble tap water was one of the first to start bubble tap water in Chennai in 1994. He also partnered with Coca-Cola to manufacture and distribute Kinley. He promoted and managed the largest mineral water factory in Asia in terms of capacity in 2003. He was the distributor for Nokia phones and bagged the award for the best distributor for India in 2009. He then took a sabbatical and joined as a professor at Satyasai Institute of Higher Learning, teaching marketing concepts and rural entrepreneurship for management students from 2012 to 2015. Sir began his journey as a social entrepreneur when he started Farm Group, a school for city children to understand agriculture and farming in the year 2007. He was part of the Roundtable India and became the best chairman for the country. He was also awarded Best Rotarian for Rotary Club of Madras twice in the year 2018 and 2020. He was past secretary for the Rotary Club of Madras in the year 2019-20. During this period, he received the Gold Star Award and the Best Secretary for the Rotary District. He was Honorary Consul for Republic of Seychelles and recently got elevated to become the Honorary Consul General for Republic of Seychelles for South India. He is also the Secretary General for Consular Corps Diplomatic Honorary Consuls Association. Mr. Sesha Sai is the District Rotary Committee Chairman for the largest district in the world, 323. This Rotary district consists 27,000 youngsters. He recently received an award for being the outstanding district Rotary Chairman among 8 countries and 44 Rotary districts in Southeast Asia. I take immense pleasure in welcoming you, sir. I would like to request Dr. C. Sundar to honor our chief guest, Mr. Sesha Sai, with a I'd like to request our chief guest.
Thank you. Right. In Japan, do you know how they greet? Japan are like greet for no. Anybody knows? Konnichiwa is right. Who said that? Somebody said. Come on. One of you said that. It's the right thing, man. I'm going to give you an applause. Stand up. Who are you? And we know they have a particular accent. They actually bend down. So come here, come here, come here.
Chair எடுத்துறலாம்
இல்லப்பா சேர் எடுக்கணும்
Okay, man.
சேர் எடுத்துருங்க சேர் எடுத்துருங்க சேர் எடுத்துருங்க
So though it's got a longer nose in the Japanese, we both are going to be Japanese today and we're going to bow to each other like this. Right? And the normal one is Konnichiwa is what, right? Whoever said that. Nobody is taking the credit, you're not getting the credit. And similarly, how many of you watched the Kung Fu Panda? Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, do you know how they greet in Kung Fu Panda movie? Right, my dear. Awesome. What do you know? Character say that, what are you? Another say the boy, don't be shy. Come on, come on. So give a good round of applause, all of you. Awesome. Show the audience how they greet in China. That's how they greet in China, right? When I say Salam Alaikum, what do you say? Yeah. Okay, thank you. Okay, after all the prayers in India, again, Shanti, 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 right? In Japan, the difficult one is what he said, but the easiest one is that you say Moshi, Moshi. What do you say? Can't hear you, gentlemen. Moshi, Moshi. Okay, and in China, they hit this. You know, myself and the photographer might have a physical fight, but mentally they so don't have a fight. It means don't have a fight. And when I say Salam Alaikum, it actually means have peace with God, and all of you reciprocate by saying you too have peace with God. Right? So thank you, sir. God bless you. Thank you, sir. God bless you. It's going, right? Okay. So, speaker is right. So, in India, how do we greet? Vanakkam is Tamil Nadu, my dear. Namaste. Namaste is actually a noun. The verb form of Namaste is Namaskara or Namaskaram, which has a very unique meaning. And the action also. All of you hold your hands, please. Close your eyes, bend down a little and say Namaskara or Namaskaram, which is the verb form, right? It has an amazing meaning. It actually means I see divinity in you and I bow to the divinity in front of me. And the கடவுளை பார்த்து நான் வணங்குகிறேன். That's what Namaskaram is, right? So Namaskaram to Moses sir, who's actually like a student. He doesn't look like a professor or something. And Namaskaram to Arulmozhi, who gives blessings to all of us. And the most handsome ever dean I've ever seen is our Sundar sir. Namaskaram, sir. And Namaskaram to, you know, the victory is Jaya and he is the Jaya of Ramans, you know. So thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity. So in Tamil Nadu, how do we greet? இங்க தமிழ் தெரியாதவங்க யாராவது இருக்கீங்களா? தம்பி நான் தமிழ்ல தானே கேட்டேன், கை தூக்குறேன். Right, so which means you also understand Tamil. வணக்கம்ல இக்கு இருக்கா? இக்கு இருக்குல்ல, அதுக்கு யோசிக்கிறீங்க? கேட்டிக்கு போயிடுங்க. வணக்கம்ல இக்கு இருக்குல்ல, but the sound is more like ak, right? சரிதானே? அக்குன்றது ஆயுதம் இருக்குதானே? ஆயுதத்துல எத்தனை புள்ளி இருக்கு? 2
down and one on top, right? And in my opinion, it means the two eyes of mine is looking at the divine eye of yours and I'm bowing to the divinity. தமிழ்ல சொல்லணும்னா என்னுடைய ரெண்டு கண்கள் உங்களுள் இருக்கும் நெற்றிக்கண்ணான கடவுளை பார்த்து நான் வணங்குகிறேன். வணக்கம் to all of you. நான் தான் சவுண்டா இருக்கேன், நீங்க இல்ல. வணக்கம். அந்த ரெண்டு லாஸ்ட் கேர்ள்ஸ் இருக்காங்க. நீங்க ரெண்டு பேரும் பயங்கரமான ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் நினைக்கிறேன். Yeah, come here. Both of you come. ஓடி வாங்க. So after a long time, you meet your mother. What is the first thing you do? Oh, you hug each other, right? Namari, these two women are amazing friends. தெரியுமா எத்தனை பேர் தெரியும் தம்பி? How many of you know that they are great friends? Come here, madam. What's your name, madam? Joshna and you. Subiksha and Joshna are amazing friends. How many of you know that? Not even one. So today we're going to exhibit all of you saying that they are amazing friends, right? ரொம்ப நாளைக்கு அப்புறமா உங்க அம்மா பார்த்து என்ன பண்ணுவீங்க? You hug, right? So they are amazing friends and today they're going to hug each other. Are you okay with that? All of you okay with that? Subiksha, you okay with that? Okay, stand there. My dear, you come here. Joshna and Subiksha are going to hug each other to exhibit to you to show that they are amazing friends. Are you ready? Are you ready? So all of us say one. Wait. You put a small condition. The condition is that they have to hug in slow motion. Okay, va? Come on, man. All of you say one. Start. Come on. A good hug to your friend. A good hug to your friend. Amazing hug. I have not seen, but I am sure all of you would have seen that one of the girls completely closed their eyes. Did you see that? You've got a picture. You can see that. They would have closed their eyes. And you know, Helen Keller said, the most beautiful things in the world are not seen by mere eyes but felt from. உண்மையான அன்பு வந்து கண்ணால பார்க்கிறது இந்த மனசால நேசிக்கிறது. And that's why when you hug your friend, and when this boy was a small baby, he was 2.5 years old, he had a bigger cheek, I used to pull the cheek and say, choo choo. What happened to my eyes? I closed my eyes because I want this boy to be in my heart. Thank you so much for being amazing friends. Welcome to both of you. Thank you. We can go. So that way, you people are so blessed to be in this college. And the first and foremost thing which is required in any entrepreneurship is to make sure that you have that love and affection and you feel everything of whatever you do in the heart. And without that, you can never do any entrepreneurship. You can find out work for somebody, but you want people to work for you. You need to have that love and affection, right? So we're going to talk a little about how that love and affection and empathy is very important for our country. Is that okay with you? Yeah. So I am given a time of 40 minutes, sir. Whatever you say. Dean, sir. 40 minutes is okay. After that, we have some question and answers. And then we'll all take selfies. Okay, is that okay? So all this side of the people, could you all put your hands like this? Some of you, all of you like this? All of you put your hands like this and say, strong! Strong! Can't hear you, gentlemen. Once more. Strong! Okay, all this side, put your finger to your head and say, think. No, this one just. Strong! Put your thumbs up and say, positive. Positive. Strong! Positive. Now, சொல்றதே ஜோரு. இதை tell you what? ரொம்ப லவ்ல இருக்கு. Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, brother. Sometimes in our country there are so many gestures which I don't have to tell you. You'll always understand that, right? And this means love for him, right? For somebody else, it's a heart, right? Right. Madam, could you stand up? You, madam. Yes, madam. One of you, please. Yes. Thank you. Don't worry. Madam, did you have breakfast this morning? Yes. Did your mother make your breakfast? Yes. Do you like the breakfast? அந்த மாதிரி 3 கேள்வி கேட்டேன். அதுல 2 வந்து yes. Yes. This kind of a nodding is nowhere else in the world. Only in our country, this means yes. So that boy, he was a toddler. I gave him a 5-star chocolate and asked him, "Did you like it?" He said, "Yes, uncle." Right? In America, you give a pizza and you kind of give it to some person and ask him if you like it and say yes or no. But what is this? Right, ma'am? See, again, she does. So that kind of a gesture is there because our culture is really long. In the sense, in terms of 10,000 years is what our culture is. And if you sit down, ma'am, thank you. And if you kind of go back, if you know what GDP is, before independence, and before the British came to our country had 32% of the world GDP. That is the richest country in the whole world. And over a period of time, kind of a dwindled, one because British came and took away a lot of things from us. Second is that they have imparted a lot of things and forced on us and we became a different person. Right? Similarly, in agriculture also, we were leaders in the world and today we kind of are dwindling to that and going off to a different path altogether. The reason why I'm sharing that is because a lot of things which you kind of know. For example, there is a relationship in Tamil Nadu called Onnu Vitta Siddhappa. Nowhere in the world, that kind of a description and kind of a definition is given for a relationship. Everything is an uncle there, right? All of you know that, right? All of you are studying Philip Kotler, you're studying N.D. Kapoor and all the accounts, the finance, the production, everything is based on Western books, right? And today I've come here to talk to you about how you can imbibe those principles in Indian culture. So the topic today given to me is an Indian entrepreneur. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about, right? So the first word was what? Strong. And the பொண்ணு என்ன பண்ணுச்சு தெரியுமா? பேசினாங்கல்ல the பொண்ணு என்ன பண்ணுச்சு? She saw a butterfly coming out of what? Butterfly cycle there. What is the last but one stage? Cocoon, right? Or a pupa, right? She was doing her 5th standard and she saw a butterfly coming out of the pupa and she opened a geometry box, the sharpener, removed the screw, and she saw that the butterfly is suffering. She took the blade and slightly cut the pupa. The butterfly killed him. The next day she saw another butterfly coming out of the pupa and this time she said, "I will not touch it." She waited for 4 hours and like that madam in blue, the butterfly also had wings in blue and went off to the farm. After that, that MC realized one thing, the more pain you have, the more you become. That's the first principle of an entrepreneur. You need to go through that pain. You have to be a failure. If you're always successful, at a point there will be a failure and that will be the most disaster thing you can ever have in your life. You're not getting it. Okay, so that is very important. There have been a lot of failures for me also in the initial stages. But if you see in the class, the first bench second bench engineer. You can see that the studious guys have their failures only at the age of 40. And they cannot really take that failure at that point of an age. So you need to go through all that failures in initial stage for you to become very, very most important. Second is the think part. Ready, sir? Mask. What's your name, brother? Ravi. Rohit. Rohit, in his previous birth, is from Rajasthan. He's a very intelligent boy. But the only problem in his previous birth, what he had was taking part. Yet, she used to get 4 pots of water. 1 for cleaning the house, 1 for cooking, 3rd is for his dirty clothes, and 4th is for him to take bath. Amma I should not trouble my mother, so in a way he should take bath. He had a neighbor in his previous birth, and his name is Praveen. Praveen had a very peculiar hobby. Before even he gets up or before he even brushes his teeth, you know what he'll do? He'll take a cycle tire with a small stake to start rolling it. Have you seen them doing it? This he kept on doing for a long time, Rohit. And he had one of the most amazing ideas. You know what he did? He took a car tire, put a tube inside, filled with water, closed it and started rolling water instead of carrying water. Yes, sir. Give him a good round of applause. Thank you, brother, for being so innovative in life and start thinking that innovation is what is required to follow. That is the most important thing. How do you get innovation? It's something which you need to have a calm mind, look at a lot of newspaper articles or read a lot of books, and that's when you can get innovation. And you should have the desire and the fire to kind of get into that innovation. Abdul Kalam said, a dream is not a dream when you go to sleep. A dream is a dream. It does not allow you to sleep is the greatest dream in earth. And for you, if you have a goal to become an entrepreneur, I would like to understand how many of you want to become an entrepreneur. Good, ma'am. I like the MC. Nobody else wants to become an entrepreneur here? Yes, sir. And madam, thank you. Joshna. Right. Anybody else? You want to work with somebody? Don't you want to become a boss? Anyway, you will after this lecture, I guess. Right. I have the confidence. Being an entrepreneur is something which is phenomenal because you will have all spices of life. It's not like you work for somebody and all the time you take 9 to 5 that's not life, right? You need to have pain and you have to gain and you kind of go through the pain again. It's a life, it's a beautiful cycle, right? I know life is a beautiful cycle. So I'll tell you why it's a beautiful cycle. At the age of 18, I went to my mother and said, Mom, you know what? Father is a Superman. Father is a great guy. You know, at the age of 23, I went to the same mother and said, oh my God, this man is always scolding me. At the age of 28, at the age of 33, I have a son and I know the difficulty of being a father. So I went to my mother and said, he's kind of giving a good yarn for me. Today I'm 57 years old. Just 5 days back, I went to my mother and said, my father is a hero. Life is a cycle and entrepreneurship is a cycle. It's ups and downs. Even if you do 250 crores, there is a pain at that point of a time. The most important at any point is to and be innovative. I have a picture here. Can you show that? To show that this gentleman, after he created that kind of an innovation in Rajasthan, today nobody is carrying water. Yeah. This picture. Next one, brother. Yeah. The Syntex company has given such things to all the women, and thanks to gentlemen like this. அந்த மாதிரியான innovation இந்த மாதிரி வருத்த மண்டைக்கு வராது. உங்கள மாதிரி youngsters தான் வரும். You people are studying in a phenomenal institute called and how blessed you are. Look at this conference room, how sophisticated it is. Of course, the audio is not working, but that's it. Okay, now that blessing you have, and whenever you have a phenomenal thinking, use it. Share it with your friends. Share it with that blue madam, you know, who's probably the most smiling person in this whole auditorium. So you need, what's her name, ma'am? Your name? Jerina. Right. Okay, Jerina madam, yeah. Another thing is in innovation, I'll give you a small example because I saw the other photograph. Let me show the other photograph. The moment I have the thought of wanting to start the farm, you know, for the children, school children primarily, I went to this gentleman. This gentleman is M.S. Swaminathan. Okay, M.S. Swaminathan is the father of Green Revolution and he's the one who changed a complete scenario in India. In 1947, Jawaharlal Nehru was certified, he said. Why? India had Indus, India had Brahmaputra, India had Ganges, India had Krishna, Godavari and Kaveri. In spite of that, we did not have enough food. We went to China. No problem. This is not that. Okay. And we went to Russia and asked, when you wheat food, they were kind of begging all of them. Right? And this is the gentleman who changed our scenario in 1993. We had enough food in our country. Sorry, Kalyana, first day. What she'll buy? buy a lot of rice, she'll buy a lot of oil, and she'll buy pulses and all that. ஒரு சின்ன வீட்டுக்கே அந்த மாதிரி இருந்தா, imagine for a country, we are about 1.4 billion people, and we need to have something called the food security. And this gentleman is the one who gave that food security to our country. His daughter is the WHO deputy president or vice president, if you know about it. Okay. And this man, the moment I told him I'm going to kind of inculcate this farming experience for a hands-on experience for the children, he was so happy. At 94, he stood up shakingly, hugged me and said, this is exactly what I want to do in my life. And now that he said that, so I kind of said, okay, sir, then what should I teach them? He gave me a 2-page curriculum, phenomenal curriculum, saying that this is what we need to teach the children about food security, about how important they, the grain should be there and all that. One big lesson he gave me. So the first class was one school called Vidyodaya School from Srinagar. 160 girls came, and I gave all the yarn he gave me. All the children under the tree slept nicely. None of them understood anything. And I was petrified. I said, what a concept I have. I thought it was a sure shot, I'm going to win it. But none of the children understood. And I was like, I shattered. I said, no, this is not what I wanted. And 4 months we were thoroughfying the whole thing to find out the correct formula. It didn't happen. One day I went to a school in Thiruamur called Shankara School. And I said, I'm a farmer. I'm proud to be a farmer, is what I was giving a speech. A girl stood up and said, take me to your farm. I said, yes, we will. And I took her to the farm. I said, we will do a project because I need to sustain also. So I want you to go to a poor school or a corporation school, bring about 50 children, and your children can be 50. We'll do a combined project of a social entrepreneurship. So that you will understand as to how difficult it is for them also to come and visit. So kind of have a good combination. About 1 week before the date, she calls me and says, none of them are giving permission, sir. So can you find a corporation? I took a school which is a panchayat school which is very near our farm for the only reason I don't have to pay for the bus. They all can walk to my farm. As usual, I gave his gyan till about 10:30. All of them slept nicely. But after noon, something phenomenal happened. These children are panchayat school children and their fathers are already farmers. And when they went into the field, the way they sang songs, they explained, the village children to the city children explained something beautiful. And that beautifulness is what I learned. This teacher or the principal from the school, Shankara School, called me and said, they have learned so much. I said, it is not me, but the children themselves learned. He said, come and speak in the assembly. I said, I will not. I want your children to speak. I would like to listen. The next day, the way I wanted the children to understand agriculture and farming is how they understood. And that is because of this panchayat school children, not because of MS farming. Next day, I went to the farm, brought these children right in front of me. I sat with them in the chairs and learned the way they explained. And I became a child along with them. And only then, whatever I wanted to do became success. The person is not MS Swaminathan. He's a small farmer's son or daughter who gave that. And that thinking for India is very much necessary. Every time we talk about West, it's not important. What is important is that we talk about local. Right? So I learned so many things from them, and that innovation is definitely necessary. For example, in Chennai, the biggest problem has been rain. Right? We never had rain. And because of that, all of us think that we don't have enough water. But to your surprise, our average rainfall is about 146 centimeters, which is 1 centimeter. And if somebody has 1,000 square feet terrace, 1 centimeter of water is equivalent to 850 liters of water, which is equivalent to 4 days of your consumption if you take bath every day. Right? So if you can collect that water at your sump, and in a year, if about you have 146 centimeters, in a year, close to about 42 days of water you don't require to take from your bore or your corporation water. Only rainwater is enough. So that is the thinking we need, right? And there's something called rainy filter. The reason why this guy developed the rainy filter, a young boy like you, is that he saw that the first rain, when it comes, it's got a lot of crow droppings, a lot of dry leaves, right? And there's a video, could you show that one? Does it require? Yeah, very good. Doesn't have an audio, but you can see that. So the rainwater is being collected, and you can see that the water, when it drops, doesn't have any force. But when there is a heavy water coming and gushing into the pipe, there's something called centrifugal force which comes. And because of centrifugal force, the water turns around, which means it goes into the side pipe. Right? That is a very nature, it's a science. But somebody else had to find that science to make sure that the initial water with a lot of dust and crow droppings, all that is segregated and separated. No, that your problem is solved. That. Another example I do, I know, தம்பி உங்க வீட்டுல pot இருக்கா, clay pot. Brother, you, yes, clay pot இருக்குல்ல, clay pot, why do they put water? It will cool, right? And that's because it's got force. The clay has got the property of force, and it is for condensation. The more sun you have, the more cooler the water is, right? Everybody knows that the pot actually cools water, right? There's one gentleman called Manshuk Bhai from Calcutta. You know what he did? He made a refrigerator out of it. How did he come to know about it? He put a kilo of vegetables on the table and he saw it decaying in 4 days. But he put it in a pot. It took about 8 days for it to decay because it's got the condensation. So he created a box and box inside the box. And between these two boxes, he put water. And the whole thing is made out of clay. And he put vegetables inside and took about 15 days for it to decay. Now, does it require electricity? Does it have any maintenance? That thinking, that frugal innovation is what is required in our country. And only you people can give that frugal innovation. When I say innovation, people talk about big things. It is not big things. The smallest of the small things which is necessary, and that is called frugal innovation. Right? So like him, cycle tire is most important. Every day, everybody will have an idea. That innovation is very much necessary in our country. Right? Like Lifebuoy is a big company, right? HLL. They know that an advertising can be done through Lifebuoy, but they wanted to put a social cost message in the first. Like how I am putting in the social cause as a saying that the children will come to my farm and have a one-day farming experience. The Lifebuoy has a why. As a why. So let me ask you, what is entrepreneurship? What is entrepreneurship? Anybody knows? Anybody would like to stand up and say? There are 2 days which are very important in your life. One day is when you are born. The second day is when you find out why you are born. As an entrepreneur, if you find out why you're doing that particular business, that is the day you'll be successful in life. When I say why, I was doing water business like somebody had explained in my introduction, that for water, how do I find out that why? So I went to people and said, mine is a great water. I do this filtration. No, I had to bring down to my people, my factory people, my logistics guys, my marketing guys, everybody should get one message. And that message was, I identified when I went to a person called Cho Ramaswamy. I went to him and he was never budging because his wife wanted to drink mineral water. He said, I am how satire is, no? He's a very sarcastic guy. At that point, he asked me one question. He asked me. That became my wife. So I kept telling, புது baby, அந்த பேபிக்கு நீங்க இந்த தண்ணி குடிப்பீங்களா அப்படின்ற ஒரு நம்பிக்கை என்னைக்கு வருதோ அன்னைக்கு தான் you can sell that watch. Right? That is very, very important in a business to find out why. To explain to you more, Saravana stores first in what is the first thing which comes into your mind as a concept of business? Cheaper. What else? Price. I told you it's cheaper. What else? It's got everything, right? It's cheaper and it's got everything. That's the why. When I say Saravana Bhavan, what comes into your mind? Yeah, South Indian food. What else? It's classy. Right? So that is the why of each of them. In water, when I started, my why was that I always said, Bundu Bundu Me Vishwas, which was the Finlay's tagline. Over Tudilum Nambi. And when I had that Nambika, because water in a glass and water in a bottle, there's no difference. There's no addition at all. It looks the same. You take a corporation water in a glass, you take a Kinley water in a glass, both looks the same. Right? So how is it that I can sell? By only showing that why, and that why was that trust. So do I have the ability to take all my customers to my factory and show my factory to show how it is being sold? Yes. That is the most important thing. Not being genuine about what you're doing, believing in what you're doing is what is important. All of you can actually watch a TED Talk by Simon Sinek. It's the third most watched TED Talk. More than about 30, 40, 3-4 million people have watched it. You can also watch. He talks about this why, and for any business you start, that why and that innovation is what is important. Right? So we spoke about. He's speaking about innovation. And we're going to speak about. Oh, come on. Some of you would have become doctors, right? Somebody wanted to become a doctor but ended up in the management course. Nobody there? No? Let's say that gentleman. Sir, your name, sir? Hari. Dr. Hari is a different guy. He's a phenomenally different guy. When do you go to a doctor then? Yes, sir. When you're sick, Dr. Hari is a different guy. He is a gentleman and a doctor who decided to go differently by saying, hey, eat all this, you don't have to come to me, eat a lot of drumstick, eat a lot of soraga, eat a lot of katrika, eat a lot of whatever, the healthy vegetables, you don't have to come to me. That's a completely a different positive idea of what Hari has given, right? And that positiveness is what is required in the current generation. All of you are grumpy. All of you are fighting, right? Including me, because I'm only 17. They didn't give me licenses. They said I'm 1 year younger. So we are all kind of working on a situation where we are kind of having a lot of conflicts in our life. And for that, the most important thing, if you want to become a businessman, you need to be positive. Can you put both your thumbs up and say positive? Come on! Positive. You have a two-wheeler in your house. Two-wheeler is there. The brake is there. எதுக்கு பிரேக் வச்சிருக்காங்க டிஸ்கஸ்க்கு தான் நான் சொல்றேன். நான் சொல்றேன் அந்த கம்பெனில 110 கிலோமீட்டர் ஃபாஸ்டா போகணும்னு நினைக்கிறாங்க. அதே பைக்ல ஒரு பிரேக் இல்லைன்னா ஒரு நம்பிக்கை இருக்குமா? அந்த மாதிரி தான் நம்ம காலேஜ்ல have brakes and they're called professors. They keep on putting brakes. Right? Assignment பண்ணியா? Homework பண்ணிட்டீங்களா? Exam prepare பண்ணிட்டீங்களா? குளிச்சியா? அப்படின்னு சொல்லி they keep on putting brakes because tomorrow when you grow up, for you to have confidence in life, they're putting brakes today, right? Only students stand up. Only students please stand up. Only students please stand up. Give a good round of applause for all your professors and lecturers. Round of applause. See, in entrepreneurship, most important thing is that guru is very important. You need to follow somebody for what you want to do, and that's why I made you do this. I'm going to give this MC madam's name, Pooja. Pooja is prayer, right? So I'm going to give her a comb. See, this is called grooming, right? Grooming, correct? The கை ஏன் கூட கூட இருக்கு? இந்த கை ஏன் கூட கூட போகுது? Support. அந்த மாதிரியான ஒரு support தான் இந்த குருங்க. You might have the idea to make it better is what you need as a guru, and give a good round of applause for that. Right. Another example I need you to place there. இங்க விளக்கு இருக்கா? நார்மலா they put a விளக்கு, right? விளக்கு எரியணும்னா என்னென்ன வேணும்? என்ன வேணும்? Correct ஆ?
சார் விளக்கு வேணும் சார்.
திரி வேணும். அப்புறம் மேட்ச் பாக்ஸ் கையில் எத்தனை ஆகும்? டீ வேணும் இல்லையா? அந்த ஏரியா இல்லையா? ஸோ டீ தான் வேணும் மேட்ச் பாக்ஸ் கையில். கரெக்டா? ஸோ என்ன வேணுங்க ஃபர்ஸ்ட்? ஆலமி சேர் என்ன வேணும்? தூக்கியா? ரெண்டாவது ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஒன் நானே சொல்ல சொல்றேன். Come on. ரெண்டாவது மூணாவது டீ வேணும். என்ன வேணும்? Like last time, all of you together say that. Together. என்ன திரு டீ. என்ன திரு டீ. என்ன திரு டீ. So when you have an idea, உங்கள் ஐடியாவை திருத்தி பெருசாக்குற ஒரே ஆளுங்க MBA யாருன்னா உங்க ப்ரொஃபசர். So before becoming an entrepreneur, please take that support because those concepts are very important. Sir, sonaliya, management, production, marketing, finance, HR, all that is necessary for being an entrepreneur. We might start off with 16 people in 1994, and in 2003 on an Ayudha Puja day, I decided that I will give personally all the employees myself a bag which contains a tiffin box and a small shirt or a sari. I gave about 1,230 of these bags in a span of 8 years. So that was my wife. My wife is not to make money. Money is incidental. The more you go after money, you will never get it. Ingla, inga yaarkitta kaasu illa kaila. ஒரு பைசா கூட கையில இல்ல சார். யாராவது சார் எந்திரிங்க சார். பரவாயில்ல சார், ஒன்றும் ப்ராப்ளம். எந்திரிங்க அப்படியே எழுந்திருங்க. கையில காசே இல்லையா? இது shy to say that he doesn't have money. அவர் வெட்கப்படுறாரா? இந்த தைரியமா சொன்னாரு. ஜோரா கை தட்டணும். அறிவு இருக்கா? ரொம்ப கோச்சுக்கிட்டாரு. யாரா என்ன பார்த்து அறிவு இருக்கான்னு தெரியுது. இது என்ன தெரியுது? பணம் பெருசா, காசு பெருசா இல்ல அறிவு பெருசா? That's exactly what it is. The more you kind of gain knowledge on so many things, on being wisdom, on having empathy, you will definitely become a great entrepreneur. And you have the leadership quality to come and say, I don't have money, I need money, but in the proper way, in the ethical way. That is entrepreneurship, Indian entrepreneurship. Thank you, sir. The ethics is what is very, very important in our country. Today, we don't have to learn about ethics, but today there are lessons about morals and ethics. நாங்க joint family இருக்கும்போதெல்லாம் கத்துக்கவே இல்லப்பா. Because my party used to already say that. நான் பண்ணக்கூடாது. ஒரு ரிக்ஷாக்காரங்கிட்ட போயிட்டு அந்த பொண்ணை கட்டிட்டா நமக்கு 5 லட்சம் கிடைக்கும்னா பாவம் சார் பண்ண மாட்டேன். நமக்கு யாராவது எத்திக்ஸ் புக்ஸா சொல்லி கொடுத்தாங்க. We are imbibed as an Indian entrepreneur. We do have ethics imbibed in our team, and that is what we need to follow. Right? So we're talking about something called positiveness, where every entrepreneur should be very, very positive. Last step. என்ன பொறுத்தவரை உலகத்திலேயே ரொம்ப அருமையான சாப்பாடு யாரு கொடுப்பாங்கன்னா பாட்டியம். He gives us a lot of love and affection. எவ்வளோ பாதிக்கப்பட்டிருக்கோம். ஆமா அந்த மாதிரியே ரூஷேட் பண்றோம். Why? Because she gives us a lot of love and affection, right? She gives us a lot of love and affection. And love and affection எப்போ எப்படின்னா அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு கூட்டும் போது there's an acquired taste, right? And that acquired taste is not because she's a great chef, because it is with love and affection. And entrepreneurship is like that. The leader is not a leader who kinds of sits in a chair and puts his legs on another leg. He's a person who kinds of understands your empathy and has love and affection for you. And only then a business can be successful. Right? For which I'll give you an example of a beautiful story by a gentleman by name Charles Plum. Charles Plum is one of the greatest war heroes in the world. And America and Vietnam had a big fight in 1970. And Charles Plum was in America, and the Vietnam fellows are Kulla fellows. They were cycle captain, they were in trouble. So American president called Charles Plum and said, you have a talent. Your talent is shoot the opponent flights very accurately. Go and shoot everything that comes. In 4 days, he shot 72 aircrafts. When he was trying to hit the 73rd one, the right wing of his aeroplane was hit by a missile from down, and the flight was going down. It's going to get crashed. He knows it's going to get crashed, so he ejected himself and landed safely in the land. What did he use? Parachute. Right? He was using a parachute. The Vietnamese caught him and put him in jail. For 5 years, he was in jail. And people like me who are diplomats fought with the UN. After 5 years, they released him. The American president was very happy. He sent one of the largest aeroplanes for one single man because they wanted to give him respect. And the flight has to go to New York, where his house is. The president said, no, bring it to Washington because I would like to personally welcome him. As the flight landed in Washington, there were about a lakh of people from the press, from the radio, from the television. And he got down and he was a very silent guy. Okay? Or Amari. Doesn't talk much, was silent, he does his job. You know, Partha, he started getting ego. And he started getting a lot of timur. He went home, threw the plate and said, you know, I'm a great guy and you kind of give me this kind of a breakfast. The money was ego on it. After 6 months, he was sitting in a coffee shop. A gentleman by name Pete came to him and said, hey, aren't you Charles Plum? Yeah, I am the famous Charles Plum. You must have seen my photograph in the newspaper, right? You must have definitely seen my interview in the television. No. How do you know me, Pa? Every time you fly, I am the guy who folded the parachute. If this gentleman has not folded the parachute properly, is that man alive? Charles Plum is dead a long time ago, right? Like that in SRM, every morning there's an ayah who comes and cleans all your bathrooms. Right? And if that ayah doesn't come, you can never come to the college, right? Somebody who's helping you without your knowledge. That person who's taking photographs on my behalf is never in the photograph. But after 10 years, when I see this photograph with the Dean Sundar sir, I would love the photograph, but I would not know who's taking the photograph. So give him a good round of applause. Compare in a small village, the person is working very hard for you to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That empathy is required. You need to give that respect to the farmer. And in an entrepreneurship, you need to give respect to the lowest of the employee and give that why factor to him so that he understands what you're actually doing. Right? So, this entrepreneurship is a very fantastic and beautiful thing. You will evolve yourself and you'll become younger and you'll also feel amazing. The biggest challenge is a lot of people think that a failure in the money part is the biggest problem for anybody. Right? The moment you say, I'm putting so much money, if I lose all the money, what will happen? Nothing will happen. You will again shine better. Let us say, I'm going to give you an example. This is your expenditure today. Let's say she goes to the movie and she has got some expenditure. She goes there, has pizza, eating Anna light on the bar, she has certain expenditure, okay? And if you have so much money, you're what? Rich, right? If you have only this much money, you're poor. What if you reduce this? Again, you're rich, right? The challenge today is that we are not able to reduce this. Whatever was your before luxury has become a necessity today. But 4 years ago, do you require Netflix? How many of you have Netflix today? 4 years ago, you never had an internet or this speed internet. Every time a television comes, the cost is the same. But the advancements in the television keeps on increasing, makes you buy a new one. So this entrepreneurship is a correlated to thing. The moment you think that you're scared about wanting more money, kind of a suffer. Instead, whatever you have in terms of money, if you enjoy that, you're more flexible in life. So that is one thing that you go into your mind. I should not be worried because I'm going to lose money. I gain experience. That's very, very important. You agree, gentlemen? Yeah? Right? All of you. Okay. So, the final thing is about, we need these 4 things to kind of interpret all of you to make sure that you all become a great entrepreneur. Right? So, if there's somebody who wants to ask a question in between, because sir said you want to take the questions in between or later. I do not know if you guys are really enjoying it. So, unless I hear some question from you, I cannot take it further, right? Okay, let me explain to you as to what honorary council general is. All of you saw that. They say, I'm a jack of all trades and master of none. I'm a professor, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a diplomat, and today I'm a farmer. I'm a jack of all trades and master of none. Probably that's why Jayaraman sir brought me and tried to tell you all the different things. So, honorary council general is a position given to an Indian for taking care of a particular country. Okay, it can be anywhere in the world. Like in the world, there are 196 countries. Am I right? Okay. So in 195 countries, let's say he wants to go to US. First என்ன பார்க்கணும்? துட்டு வேணும். அதுக்கு அடுத்து என்ன வேணும்? Passport வேணும். அதுக்கு அடுத்தது visa. So who issues the American visa here in Chennai? The American embassy, right? And the American embassy is a representative of US in Chennai. Like that, I am the representative of this country called Republic of Seychelles for South India. And my first objective is that Seychelles as a country has got very small population. They don't have a viable hospital. So they bring all the patients, including SIMS, which is your safe group of association. They come here, they make sure that they get all right and go back. And that's because when there is a small population, they don't have economies of scale and the cost is very high. Whereas in Chennai, being the tourism hub, world tourism capital, medical tourism capital is what it's going to become. That's very important. Thank you, sir. Okay, so that I kept on looking after those patients. I got a lot of friends, and I had the opportunity to meet Narendra Modi twice. First time, அவர்கிட்ட போய் சொன்னேன், சார் காலையில மெட்ராஸ் நரேந்திர மோடி வந்தார் சார், அவரை போய் பார்த்தேன். ஏய் நீயாவது நரேந்திர மோடியை பார்க்கல, தூக்குடாதுன்னு. ஆமா, அவர்கிட்ட போய் சொன்னேன் பாரு, இல்லப்பா காலைல பார்த்தேன், டூப்லாம் விடாத, போட்டோ காட்டுங்க. போட்டோ இல்ல. Inspector took away my phone. The next day I had an opportunity to meet Narendra Modi in Rashtrapati Bhavan. And this time I wanted to make sure அவருக்கு எப்படியாவது போட்டோ காட்டணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு I was holding my phone like this as he was walking towards me. பக்கத்துல ஒருத்தர் வந்து he called me and said, he's the Prime Minister of India, you can't take selfie. It's not respectful. So I put my phone and I will never get an opportunity to meet him, right? So I shook hands with him and with a loud voice I said, sir, I want to take a picture with you. And he went to that corner and he looked at me and said, come. And I realized this man was saying I should not take a selfie. So I didn't know what to do. But he saw my difficulty. He came running with me and took 16 pictures. And the man who took the photographs is vice president of a country called Republic of Seychelles, Jean Don. His name is Jean, and that's the beauty. Every single person in this room will have an opportunity. And that opportunity, please don't miss. Especially when it is about entrepreneurship, it's no more about money, it's about the idea. Today we have incubation centers and people are willing to give you money. For example, I have a farm and I went to Loyola College and said, let's start something similar to this. Can you all give me an idea? So one of the boys called Rajesh, he came to me and said, sir, I'm going to ask you, sir. பருப்பு இருக்கா சார்? இருக்கு. சார் மாடுங்களா இருக்கு, நெய் இருக்கா சார்? இருக்கு. கூட இருக்கா சார்? தேங்காய் கூட இருக்கு சார்? ஆமா இருக்கு. நம்ம ஏன் இட்லி கடை சார்? ஆர்கானிக். That's an idea, right? So idea doesn't have to be a big idea. It can be a very minuscule, small idea, right? So each one of you, for example, I was talking about the cycle, right? You know what is organic farming? All of you know the organic farming. What is organic farming? Anybody knows, ma'am? Green, ma'am? You only wear green. Well, both. Anybody knows what is organic farming? Okay, let me explain the Indian perspective of organic farming. Organic farming is zero chemical. What is organic farming? Zero chemical. The kadir தெரியுமா? You know, kadir is there, no? மேல கதிர் மேல என்ன இருக்கு? நெல் இருக்கு. நமக்கு யூஸ் அதுக்குள்ள அரிசி இருக்கு, அம்மா இட்லி பண்ணுவாங்க, நமக்கு யூஸ். கீழே இருக்கிறது ஹே, வைக்கோல். இட்ஸ் a waste for us. But for somebody that is the food, யாருக்கு? So அது சாப்பிட்டு நமக்கு வேஸ்டான ஒரு பொருள் வந்து கவு சாப்பிடுமா? See how God's creation is. சாப்பிட்டு அவங்க என்ன கொடுப்பாங்க? பால் வந்து கண்ணு குடிக்குமா? தானம். Who said that? நீங்க சொன்னீங்க. கவுடாங், கரெக்டா? அது வந்து இங்கிலீஷ்ல. தமிழ்ல மெட்ராஸ் பாஷையில ஷானி. What is it called? Shani. Correct, all of you say Shani. Why are you shy to that, right? Ma, what's your favorite sweet, my dear? மைசூர் பாக் அந்த மாதிரி பிடிக்குமா? ஒருத்தருக்கு இந்த மாட்டு ஷானி இருக்குதே மைசூர் பாக் மாதிரி. Can you tell me go home? Sorry, I can't hear you. Plants, of course. What else? Sorry? Hello, hello. Soil, yes. Plant, soil. Anybody else? Any other different answer? Microns, yes. Microbes, yes. There's somebody called earthworms. Manburu. They love to eat shiny like Mysore pak. They keep on eating that and it becomes fatter, and their waste is called worm compost, vermicompost. Vermicompost is the cheapest natural fertilizer available in India. You put it back to the field, there are small muttais in that. All of them will become earthworms, and their only job God has given to them is to drill holes. They keep on dwaragal potte irupanga. Okay? And as they keep on digging holes, the soil becomes loose. When the soil becomes loose, the roots can penetrate faster. When the roots can penetrate faster, the plant can grow better. When the plant can grow better, you'll have more seed and more eating. Right? So let me ask you all a question. The top of the grains, the paddy has got rice, is useful for us. The bottom hay is the waste for us. Who eats it? And what do they give? Shani. And who eats shani like Mysore pak? Right? And what is their waste called? And it goes to the field again. Rice comes. Amma kitchen pona amma idli saap rice nikale lete per idli saap. அப்படியே கை வச்சுக்க எத்தனை பேர் தோசை சாப்பிட்டு எத்தனை பேர் உப்புமா சாப்பிட்டு. So all these guys are eaten fresh shani. Correct? Yeah. Life is a cycle, right? We spoke about it, right? Now, look at the opportunity. Look at the opportunity, how organic farming is growing in India. In 1993, we had food security. Okay, it became in 2003, one gentleman by name Manmohan Singh became the Prime Minister, and he had a turban, and he put his finger inside and he said, why? People from Punjab came to him and said, sir, Punjab nana kulandaingalukku skin problem varudhu sir, nariya per cancer varudhu sir, edukku puriyala appadinona he put a 5-member team and saw these people, these farmers, they are uneducated, and they started putting lot of pesticides from with this, and that went into your idli, dosa and upma, and into your stomach as poison and addiction. Right? So, when you do not have that, organic farming is becoming important. And more important is today, hospitals are loaded because your food you're eating has got poison. So the government is trying to put a lot of attention on organic farming, but they are also very clear we should not become like Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka in 2013 decided that we will not put any pesticide or fertilizer, and today, because of their economic condition, they are suffering. That should not backfire us. So one side is human survival, the other side is environment. Both are important. Another important thing about organic farming is that you kind of okay. Organic farming is that you should not use fertilizer and pesticide. When I went to the farm, I never knew anything about farming. So I called my manager and asked him, how do I grow rice? He said 21 steps. Last but one line, he said, you put a lot of pesticide. I said, pesticide is a poison. I don't want to give children the poison. But he said, sir, how much am I getting now? 40. From the day I walked into my farm till today, I have not put a single drop of pesticide in my side of the farm. But then again, so what I did is, I took neem leaf, crushed it nicely, and sprayed on all the food which is meant for us. So I created border crops for this, which is so that they don't come here that they eat. By putting pesticide, your butterfly dies. your dragonfly dies, your mini puchi, firefly dies. Above all, your honeybee dies. Honeybees die, you don't have soraka, katrika, you don't have manga, nothing is there because they do something called. So if you remove all the trees in the world, earth becomes a desert. If you remove all the animals in the world or insects in the world, earth becomes a desert. If you remove all human beings, earth becomes a better place. Right? So why I'm explaining these two things about fertilizer and pesticide is that every single thing is a business opportunity. You agree? Chanam export பண்றாங்கம்மா தெரியுமா? In Malaysia they're selling variety. And you know how much is it each? $12. American ringgit, Malaysian ringgit, 12 ringgit. என்ன பண்றாங்கன்னா அவங்களுக்கு பூஜை பண்ணனும்னா அந்த வெரைட்டி தான் வரும். So there's a business opportunity there. In the whole world, they don't have organic material at all. They need a lot of cow dung. Chani venum. That is a business opportunity. On a pesticide side, you can make neem oil from your own land. That's a business opportunity. So we have a lot of opportunities locally. Don't look for always cola, or you don't look for anything which is only software. You have other phenomenal opportunities in our country. Use this opportunity to become a better entrepreneur for India, and we all can become great. There's a particular saying by Churchill which says, வாழ்வதற்கு கொடுங்கள், வாழ்க்கைக்கு கொடுங்கள். It means for life you give, for living you take. For example, if you have 10 takali chedis, 9 takali chedi you take. 1 takali chedi you give it. You know, if you put neem oil on all the 10, neither the puchi or you will enjoy. In entrepreneurship, it's the same thing. When you have profit, give it back to your box. வாழ்வதற்கு எடுத்துக்கோங்க, வாழ்க்கைக்கு கொடுங்க. Right? That is also important. Right? So, finally, these are the 4 things required for entrepreneurship. And Indian entrepreneurship already has all this in your system. Right? I wish you all the best, and God bless you all. Moshi Moshi. Yes, sir. Any questions? Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Like I said, the Indian is one aspect. One aspect we're looking at. And such a serene place, we're looking at trying to do a health wellness thing. So since the children are directly handling, I can see that there is a lot of happiness in that, right? So a lot of people are angry these days, you know. You see, they're very grumpy and angry. That's probably because of the COVID situation or whatever. So I asked everybody, you know, or in a part of Sotatala, what happens? I also will get angry normally. But instead of that, I sleep it there and there. I kind of, don't require shampoo much. The cost saving is something which I smile. In turn, what happens is he gets more angry. He gets more angry. That kind of a positive situation is possible only in a setting conditions like my farm. So we're trying to create a health, wellness, holistic approach like yoga and all that, and probably cookery and all that. There's a concept called farm to table. We want children to cook healthy food. The problem with healthy food is it's never tasty. But if you can kind of combine the tastiness along with the healthy food, nothing like it. People are eating pizza while one maybe it's a fashionable statement, but otherwise it's tasty because of the butter they put, right? If we kind of put a lot of taste to healthy food is what I am trying to work on. I have not started yet. But idli kada we're going to start definitely soon. And we're going to put one shop, and if it is successful, we want young entrepreneurs like you to come forward. Money is not your problem. Working very hard, not even hard, working smart is important. Yes, ma'am? Thank you. Anybody else? So you're asking a question. The guy took me there. Yes, sir. Get up, by the way. Oh, love it. That's it. Sir, in my opinion, yes. Working 2 years, 3 years in a company is actually more progressive than become directly. They're becoming entrepreneur directly. One for me is because my father was an entrepreneur. My father used to be in a business of book puri. And I am from North Madras, in a place called Padiarpet. Nobody else knows so many bad words like. From there, thanks to a lot of things, it slowly progressed, both economically and socially also. Right? Today, because I'm a farmer, I cannot be like a diplomat. I cannot go in a car to my farm because there's not much of money there. So I take public bus. I go in metro. That's why I said, if this is your money and if this is your expenditure, you're rich. If you are having only this much money, you're poor. If you reduce this, you become rich again. By being flexible and by being simple, you'll actually have more to gain. Right? So being simple has become the challenge. Right, madam? I got a puchi. The blue color, madam. Is a blue puchi. Okay, so we'll conclude. Are you okay with that? We'll conclude, okay. What is success, my dear? What is success? Success is another thing. I'm going to translate one solar. Meaning taker. What is success? Madam? Anybody wants to say what is success? Having more money is success. I don't know. That's what you feel? More money? Who's the richest man in the world? Bill Gates, let's say. Yeah. He wants more money, right? Then what is success there? He still wants more. What is success, in my opinion, is being happy. Being happy is successful, right? But what is happiness? Making somebody else happy is the biggest happiness you can have. ஒரு நாய் வந்து பிஸ்கெட் கொடுத்தோம் அப்படின்னு சொன்னா அந்த நாய் வாழாட்டும் போது who's happy? The நாய் or you? நீங்க தானே? Which means you're selfish, right? Because you wanted to be happy, you get biscuit to that நாய், right? So in entrepreneurship, it's the same thing. You kind of make all your employees happy, you will be happy, finally. Right? So let me give you another thing. You know, all of us are getting angry, right? Angriness is about the past. They always is about the past. Sadness is about past again. And, you know, fear is about the future. Not an exam. Not again, So, the only thing which you have a choice, but choice is very, very important, brother. So, I was simple. I was going to mention. So, Mata Pita, none of them choice. None of them have choice. None of your choice, right? So, 2 வருஷமா காலேஜுக்கே போல. அவன் என் கிளாஸ்மேட் அவன் ரூம்ல பார்த்ததை விட சரிடா அவன் கிளாஸ்மேட்னே தெரியல அப்படி 2 பேர் நினைச்சிருக்கீங்க. But all of you passed, right? Then why are you coming to college today? Why not you work from home? The only reason why you come to college today is because how to behave with the society, how to give respect to elders, and how you kind of work with the professors is what you're coming. There's another important reason why you're coming to college is because Mata Pita Gurudev Matamla. The choice which you have is to find your own friend. Right? The choice. Today, my best friends are from school and college, not the friends which I made the business or my social entrepreneur. My good best friends are from school and college. And that is very important because it's your choice. So from today, you say Mata Pita Guru Devam Nanban. Mata Pita Guru Devam and yes, sir. So come here, Ma. So thank you once again, and God bless you all. Namaskar. No, myself, God bless
Thank you for your insightful and inspiring word. I'm sure the fourth piece of entrepreneurship will stick with us throughout the journey. Now I'd like to call on Ms. Sai Martin for the vote of thanks.
Good evening, Manaka Sir. No duty is more attendance within time. With this word, let me take this opportunity to propose my vote of thanks. Honorable dignitaries, Mr. Shekhar Sir, social entrepreneur and honorable consultant, Republic of Cases India. Mr. Jayaram, Deputy General Manager, Market Development Business Standards. The Dean Management, SRM ISP, Dr. C. Sundar, Head of the Department, MBA SRM ISP, Dr. R. Arunmodi, faculties, and my dear students. At the foremost, let me thank the Lord Almighty for making this event a possible one. On behalf of the management, faculty, and students of Department of MBA, I must mention our deepest sense of gratitude to the awesome speaker of the day, Mr. Shekhar Sai, for placing his presence with us and revealing this generous journey. And sir, it was definitely eye-opener. I would like to place on record my sincere thanks to Mr. Jayaram for his presence and support. Our Dean Management, SRM ISD, Dr. V. Sundar, and Head of the Department, Dr. R. Arunmodi, for sponsorizing this event and having me an ardent support on the proceeding of my entrepreneur journey series. Thank you, sir. I also like to thank Dr. A. Jelina Rachel, convener of this program. Further, I, along with the Department of MBA, wish to register our sincere thanks to the management for all their support in conducting this event. Let me also thank the students of first MBA who have volunteered to be a part of this wonderful event and making it a grand success. I cannot thank everyone enough for their involvement and willingness to take on the complete of task on this event beyond their comfort zone. Thank you once again, everyone. Everyone can whisper. On the chair, photo.